We're going to bulk convert files to PDF today. So I've got a handful of Word documents here. This will work with any file type. I just happen to be using Word documents. So I'm going to kick off the flow so you can see it while I talk. So these files are local on my computer. This will also work with SharePoint files if you sync them locally. We're using Power Automate Desktop today. This is a free tool that comes with Windows. You can also use Power Automate Cloud to do similar things, but the process for doing it is going to be very different. So we'll talk more about when you would use one tool versus another at the end. You can also print PDFs from the web with this. So I'll talk about that in a little bit also, but let's jump into how to do this. So you can use this tool with a personal Microsoft account. Those personal Microsoft accounts are free. If you're doing this for work, you might already have a Microsoft 365 account that you want to use. So to do this, I'm going to go to the new flow menu at the top here, and we're going to make a flow name. And then I'm going to leave PowerFX off. So the premise here is that we are going to get files in a folder, loop on those files, and print them all. We're going to print to PDF in this case. You could use this to print to paper too if you wanted to, the same technique will work. So the first thing we need to do is get our files. So there's an action for that. It's called get files in folder. If I use this search, it'll pop up. I can drag that onto the canvas, and it wants to know what folder it should be getting the files from. So you can either use this select folder option and navigate to the folder, but if you're not super familiar with Windows file structure, it can be kind of hard to find things in there depending on your path. So what you can also do is just go to the place that you want to get the files from, go up a level in the navigation, and then right click on your folder and choose copy as path. So that's going to get the path of the folder in Windows. And then we can just paste that into the folder field here. When you use copy as path, it inserts double quotes around the path. You need to take those out. You have an option for a file filter. So if you only want to convert Word documents to PDF, you could put .doc in here. You can also have it run a rule based on part of the file name if you want to. I'm going to run it on all files. And then there's also an option to include subfolders here. So whether or not it goes into each folder and gets those files, I'm going to leave that off because I'm putting the PDFs in a subfolder, so I don't want it to get those. And then click Save. So working with the print menu in Power Automate, it has a really hard time navigating and clicking on things in the print menu. So it's a lot easier to just set the default printer versus trying to have Power Automate click it in the menu. So if I search for print in here, you have an option to set the default printer. And you can select print to PDF from that menu. If you don't want this to stay as your default printer after the flow runs, you can add an action at the end of the flow that sets it back to whatever it was before. And then we need to loop on our files. So we need a loop in the loops category, and we want a for each loop. So this is going to iterate over a list of things. So we have our files as a variable that we can loop over. So double click that. Click OK. And now for each of those files, we need to print it. So search for print again and add an action for print document. So for the document to print, all you do is select the current item. So like I mentioned earlier, we are printing files on our local computer. If you're working with files on a website, what you need to do is essentially open up each one of those files to do these actions. There's actions for get data on a web page that'll give you a list of links. You can go to each of those links and print it. Some websites don't have static hyperlinks that you can use. So in that case, you use CSS selectors to have Power Automate Desktop click onto each of the links to open it and then print it. But this printing process is the same once you get something to loop over. So this action of print document is going to open the file and then navigate to the print menu for you. What you need to do is you need to wait to make sure that that has loaded before you try and do the next step. So I'm just going to add a wait action in here. So we're going to wait 3 seconds, say. You can play with this number a little bit to see what ends up being optimal. The other thing I want to do here is increase the run delay on the individual actions. So Power Automate Desktop has a tendency to get ahead of itself where it tries to do the next action before the previous action has finished. So you can set this run delay up a little bit higher than the default. So maybe like 700. So I'm going to add a temporary breakpoint at the end of this loop so that we can try it for one file and see where we end up. So you can just click to the left of a step to add a breakpoint. What that does is it pauses your flow there so you can kind of see what's going on and then kind of troubleshoot things. Make sure to remove this when you're totally done with the flow. Otherwise, it's only going to do one file. All right. So I'm going to run what we have so far. So it's opened the file, and then we're in this menu where we need to set the file name. And we probably also need to set the path. So mine has defaulted to the place that I want to store it only because it just ran a minute ago. So it's already happens to be in this folder. You're going to want to set the path that you want it to save. So what we can do with this is we can use the send keys action to set the file name and the path. Send keys is very useful in Power Automate Desktop. So anytime you have something in a menu where you can't select it, which happens a lot, you can use send keys to either use a keyboard shortcut to get there or to tab through menus, push the down arrow, hit enter to select things. It's a very useful trick. So I'm going to use that now. So what we want to do is we want to navigate up here to set the path that we want to save the files to. And then we need it to click the save button down here. We're going to do all of those things with set keys. So the keyboard shortcut to get to the path up there is Alt D. So you see how that's selected? I just hit it on my keyboard. And then the one to get back to the file name is Alt N. So we're going to use those in just a second. I'm going to close this and stop our flow. So you need to stop the flow in order to edit it. So we're going to add a send keys action here. So for the keys we want to send, in this insert modifier dropdown, select Alt, and then click inside of the parentheses and put a D. So we want Alt D. Modifier is a key that you hold down when you hit another key on your keyboard. Set the delay for the keystrokes. I'm going to put mine at 40, and then text as hardware keys, turn that on. It just makes it work better. And then click save. So next we want to send some more keys for the path that we want it to save to. So that was this one here. I'm going to right click it and do copy as path and paste it in the box. Take out the double quotes. And once we have the path in there, we need to hit enter to select it. So we're going to do curly brackets, enter. These are called special keys in Power Automate Desktop. You can find them in this insert special keys menu too. Typing them will do the same thing. So do the same thing with the keystrokes and send as hardware keys and save. So we've got our path set. Now we need to set the file name. We could have done this first, but I like to do it last because you can hit enter from the file name menu to click the save button. Click. It just makes it easier to navigate. So I'm going to do another send keys. This one is going to be Alt N. So modifier, Alt, and then an N. Set the delay, hardware keys, save. So that gets us to the file name menu where we're naming the file. Now we need to put the text that we want it to use for the file name. So I'm going to do one more send keys. And for this one, we're going to use information from our flow. So if you hit the variable option here, I'm going to get from the current item. So there's an option in here for name without extension. I don't know if you can see it because it might be off the screen. I'm going to zoom in real quick. So name without extension down there. So double click on that and it'll insert it. If you want to tack on extra text in here, this is the place to do it. So you can put some extra letters in here and it'll just tack those on to the existing file name. You could put the date in there, whatever you want. We don't need to set the file extension because we're printing to PDF. It knows what file extension to use already. And then we're going to do enter. And I need to go back to the last step. There's a really important thing that I forgot. So we're going to do enter curly brackets to save. Set this to 40, text as hardware keys. Okay, so go back after this to this step where we were entering the path. That was this one here. So it gets kind of stuck in the UI at this point. It won't do the hotkey to go back to the file name unless you add an action to hit tab first. So we're going to do a curly brackets tab here. This is important. If you don't add the tab here, the Alt N doesn't work. And save. All right, so let's try that. I'm going to run it. Again, I have a breakpoint in there, so it's only going to run on one. Looks like it worked, so we're good. I'm going to remove my breakpoint. You can remove the breakpoint just by clicking the circle. We need to stop the flow first. So Click on that and make sure to save your flow. These things don't auto save as of right now. And just as an aside, when you are testing these things, you need to go back and remove the files that you created as part of the test process because it's not going to overwrite automatically. So I'm going to delete that file and then run it on all of them. So a little bit about desktop versus Power Automate Cloud when you would use one versus the other. Power Automate Desktop is physically controlling your computer. So you can't use your computer while it's running, but you can go, grab a coffee while it prints all of your stuff to PDF for you, that kind of thing. Power Automate Desktop is free if you're willing to click the start button yourself. There's another license tier that is called unattended that is more expensive, but lets you run things without sitting at your computer to do it. You would use Power Automate Cloud if you have a license for it, if you have kind of a regular process with putting files in, say, SharePoint and having some actions performed on them. So, when a file is created, run an approval or get a signature or whatever, and then convert it to PDF, that kind of thing. Although you'd probably be getting a signature after you print to PDF in this process. But really, Power Automate Cloud is more about having a set process around specific files versus I need to throw this entire folder into PDFs kind of thing. All right, so that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.